Good morning, friends. Coming to you from the chilly Gulf of Mexico this morning. About an hour and a half away from the nearest Florida Trail access, but I'll be back over there tomorrow. I thought I would do a video here from the Gulf of Mexico. It's one of my favorite little spots here, just north of Tampa Bay, right on the Gulf of Mexico. Some people like the Atlantic, some people like the Pacific, and I've just always been a Gulf of Mexico kind of guy. You know, I spent lots of time over the past several years researching the Appalachian Trail, and I think I've read just about everything there is to read about it. And just over the past several months, I've been looking for Florida Trail information, and I've been reading up on it. And I shared with you a book that I found, the Florida Trail Guide, and I love it. And I've been through the whole thing, and it's helping me to plan my expeditions and plan areas where I can take you guys out along with me and see some of the trail over the next year as I prepare for my Thru-Hike. But I found another article today that I was going to share just a little bit with you. It's out of the Journal of Florida Studies. The Journal of Florida Studies. You could find it online easily. I'm in 2021, Volume 1, Issue 9. And it was written by a gentleman named Thomas Halleck, and he's at USF, at the University of South Florida. And again, it's from the Journal of Florida Studies, 2021, Volume 1, Issue 9. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to read a little bit to you from the article, because I just find it very interesting, and I find it it kind of makes me happy to see that people are talking about the Florida Trail. And I know the Florida Trail is a lot newer than the Appalachian Trail, and it's still in development in many places, and many places aren't orange blazed, of course. And there's still a lot of road walking on it seems like to me. So it seems like we might be in the earlier stages, but I think over time, you know, we're going to have ourselves a really nice through hiking trail here in Florida. That already is, but it's just going to get better and better as the years go by. Have to excuse the camera. I do have it mounted, but it's a little breezy out here on the Gulf today, and just a gorgeous morning. Low 50s. Way too cold to be in the water. I did see some folks back behind me there a little ways that were messing around down in the water. But let me read to you a little bit from this article. Again, this is from Dr. Halleck at the University of South Florida, and he's writing in the Journal of Florida Studies. I know you could find it online. The Florida Trail, and this isn't comprehensive, it's just pieces of what he wrote. The Florida Trail, usually for better, sometimes for worse, cuts through the long natural, social, cultural, and even political history of a varied, often contentious state. Once past the Big Lake, this 1,300-mile path traces the Kissimmee River Valley, splits through Orlando, with the west leg running through the Green Swamp and Withlacoochee, and the eastern section along the Wakiva River system, and then into the Ocala National Forest, with some breaks in between. Where distinctive orange blazes follow pavement, the route runs through Osceola State Forest, along the Suwannee River, across Apalachicola National Forest, and onto the Panhandle, skirting the northern edge of Eglin Air Base, ending at the Gulf Islands National Seashore near Pensacola. Where the Florida Trail does not always offer an unbroken corridor through pristine nature, in other words, it does provide a way of exploring the state in all of its complexity. And that's one of the good reasons that, you know, I've looked forward to actually completing. I've been in and out of Florida most of my life, but I've never been through a lot of the middle of the state where it really is very beautiful, very, very beautiful, pristine nature. In other words, it does provide a way of exploring the state in all of its complexity. Travel, of course, brings us new insight into the everyday. What the map cuts up, the philosopher Michel de Certeau wrote, the story cuts across. The authors of these stories bring new lights into parts of Florida like a hidden lake, otherwise remain invisible. Chantal Acevedo, who is both Cuban American and a mom, recounts the frustration with her daughter for wearing brand new Converse sneakers for a big cypress swamp stomp. That's awesome. As well as passing a turnoff for the Chrome Detention Center, where Latin American families have been detained during border crises. Elena Letcher and Nicholas Foreman bring the history of the Everglades development into the present, showing how the history of Florida's relationship with this natural world is sometimes dysfunctional. Again, I'm flipping through trying to give you highlights from the story. Florida's story will always foreground the interactions between human beings and the natural world. This amazing 1,300-mile route of the Florida National Scenic Trail showcases what we love most about the state. Rare flora and fauna, mature longleaf pine forest, cypress temples in the Everglades, aquamarine springs, catacomb-like karst along the Swanee. But the same path also provides an inroad into a long and often unsettling history. So this is just, we go on down a little bit further, the contributions to this issue, and they're talking about the Florida Journal, the 2021, like I said, it's the Journal of Florida Studies, 2021, Volume 1, Issue 9. And what they're talking about is there are several stories written in this issue. By digging into our collective past, we hope readers may reflect upon what earlier Floridians got right and what we, or they, also got wrong. Once we have done so, when we have traced present-day footsteps into the collective past, then how do we build a better tomorrow? It all begins with a walk, because any step into the future, of course, always starts today. Wonderful, wonderful article. I printed it out so I could share a little bit of you from the Journal of Florida Studies, 2021, Volume 1, Issue 9, if you want to take a look at it. It's amazing, you know, once I did start digging a little bit, it's amazing the amount of information that I have found on the Florida Trail. In fact, you know, with the book I showed you with the Florida Trail Guide, I'm able to map out specific spots, and I'm going to be able to get out there and visit much of the Florida Trail, specifically here in Central Florida, before I even begin the Thru-Hike. So I think that's nice to be able to have access to it and to get a look ahead into the trail and the pros and cons of it. But most of all, it's just nice for me at this stage of my life to have another goal to look forward to. So that's where I'm at, friends. I'm always looking forward, always trying to move ahead and trying to think about where I'm going to go next and what I'm going to do next. And I think having goals like this is what has helped me for most of my life. It's got me through parts of my life that have been difficult. And though, you know, I have to say I've been blessed the vast majority of my life. I've gone through struggles just like everyone else has. And I think setting goals and keeping our eyes forward on the prize and on things that we would really like to accomplish in this life, I think that alone is often the difference between just staying stagnant, being stuck, and then being out there trying to move our lives ahead. And I'm not just talking about physically, but I'm talking about psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I think it's good that we keep moving ourselves forward and trying to make our lives better for ourselves and for all those around us. So anyway, I've had a really nice morning out here at the Gulf of Mexico. I love being out on the beach like this, especially on these cold mornings, or cold for Florida. You know, it was like into the 40s overnight here in Tampa, and it will be back into, I don't know if it'll get to 60 today. I know it's very, very cold up north, and when that happens, it definitely gets a little bit cooler down here. I'm bundled up well, enjoying the wind, enjoying the breeze, and enjoying the sand. I'm not barefooted. I got a sweatshirt on and long pants, and you can see I got my ears covered because it is a little bit cool out here for me. But it is wonderful to be out here in these elements. It's just wonderful, and I'm glad to be able to bring you along. And tomorrow morning, this is Friday, the 3rd of January. Tomorrow morning, I expect to be back on the Florida Trail, and I'll bring you a short video from up there tomorrow and take you out to another spot that I've picked out to kind of explore with you. So you all have a wonderful day. Enjoy your days wherever you are. If you're up north, keep warm. If you're down here, let's keep moving. And I will be talking to you real soon. You all have a great day now. Bye now.